Hey everyone, Tyler here at The Movie Beat. Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the 2019 Korean crime drama film, Blacklmony, mainly because it is on its way to Blu-ray, and it's just, anytime there's a Korean movie coming to Blu-ray, it gets pretty exciting, at least for me, and you know, with funds being limited, it's kind of nice to know a little bit something about the movie. I remember way back in the day when I was getting into Korean movies, it was DVDs at the time, but there was really no way for me to know much information about the movies, and so I would just kind of have to spin the wheel and hope I got a good one. Judging by either the cover or the actors that are in the movie. Maybe I can help get some information out on this movie for those who are curious or interested in perhaps picking it up. It's being released by the publisher, Korean Blu-ray publisher, SM Life Design Group. It's got a really awesome looking package. It actually kind of surprised me when I saw it. I thought it was the upcoming Believer release from Plain Archive. Sort of a similar design, both equally looking awesome. So just want to give some quick thoughts on the movie first. This was directed by Jeong Ji-young, who's kind of a legendary director in Korea. He's been in the game for a while, but his movies have been kind of political, and he was also one of the directors who was blacklisted by the previous regime. So this is his first movie back, I believe, and it's also kind of a political, scandal in there. So some intrigue on that, just based on the subject matter. The film also stars Jo Jin-woong and Lee Ha-nui. So for this movie, it might help to think back to the 2018 Korean film Default, which was about the financial crisis in Korea that eventually led up to the IMF bailout that brought in a lot of foreign investors and really kind of changed the landscape of the Korean domestic marketplace. It had a big impact on just the average Korean families that saw a lot of price hikes and a lot of unemployment. So Blacklmony is sort of one of the lingering effects from that whole situation. It's also a true story, and it involves the controversial sale of one of Korea's big banks to a foreign investment firm. In the movie, Jo Jin-woong plays a district attorney named Yang Min-hyuk, who is accused of sexual harassment right off the bat in a suicide note left by an employee of the bank to be sold. So in an effort to clear his name, Yang uncovers a scandalous financial conspiracy set to rock the institutions of power. So this movie has a pretty dramatic opening, almost thriller-esque, but it turns quickly into more of a light tone overall and really kind of focuses on just general entertainment. Perhaps also inspiring a bit of activism around a topic that still remains rather relevant and perhaps could impact people in the future. So maybe a little bit of a call to action. And with the plot centered around a true story of this extremely high value and shady sale of an enormous bank, it's quite easy to get lost in a lot of the intricate details of the various white-collar crime that's going on. So there is some, useful, helpful expositional dialogue in this movie to kind of help you stay engaged, but for me, that's not really my favorite approach, so that could be a turnoff for some. This is also a very bright, daytime investigative type movie, which is very fitting since it is about white-collar crimes. But it may be helpful to not go into this movie expecting some kind of dark, gritty, beat-em-up style of procedural. The investigators and the district attorney in this movie, they really try to stay in bounds and work within the law for the most part. So it might be helpful to expect that this doesn't really get to too dark of places. Also, Blacklmony is quite over the top in how it portrays a lot of in the movie they portray them as these very money-hungry, evil foreign investors. There's one scene where they're having this high-level conference call, and the CEO of the company, who's the investment firm that wants to purchase the bank, he's on the call and he's wearing a bathrobe and he's eating his breakfast and just very nonchalant. And then it goes to another CEO who's getting a massage, and they're complaining about there's only so much booze and gambling and alcohol and women that you can have while we're waiting for this sale to go through. And you see the other foreigners laughing, and I don't necessarily like that angle for obvious reasons, maybe, but it does kind of have that angle to it, the sort of evil oppressor coming in, you know, stomping its feet. That's in this movie, so just maybe a heads up there. And while the corruption at the heart of the story in Black Money is frustrating and slightly angering, it doesn't really translate that well, or it didn't to me, just because of the whole general entertainment approach that the movie takes. So unless you're closely in tune with a lot of domestic Korean politics, or maybe you hold above average resentment towards this kind of white-collar crime, the film may not strike as big of a chord in you as maybe the filmmakers intended. So when looking to buy this movie, it's coming down to, you know, how much do you have in your wallet, and are the goodies that are included, and there are some goodies, worth it for you. So let's take a look at what is actually in this package. So it is a normal version from SM Life Design Group, and the normal releases typically come with a out case that's like, they call it an O-ring case, and this one looks amazing. So I think the art chosen for this slipcase is perfect. The keep case that's going to come inside of it hopefully will be clear on top. It's not actually 100% that it will be that color, but I would lean towards that based on this image here. And the bonus goodies here, this is where you have to decide, do you have the funds to make the gamble here if you're on the fence about owning this movie? Because if you're lucky, you can get one of these randomly allocated signed cards in there. So most of the people will get all of the cards, but for some people, you will get one of them with the signature on it. And there are 4 different ones. Jo Jin-woong is a possibility, Lee Ha-nui is a possibility, and Hang Sung-tae is a possibility. Also, the director, Jeong Ji-young, is a possibility. So you could get one of those signatures, and if you landed that, I think it would probably make the purchase worthwhile. If you were unlucky and did not get that, could be some buyer's remorse. For those who do not need English subtitles, or if you just for the curious, there is also some cool special features on this disc, like the director's commentary that includes the actors as well. There's also a initial reading. I'm assuming they're probably reading the script, maybe a screen test. There's also a little feature called Problematic Incident, there's Problematic People, and there's also the True Scandal, maybe a little story about the true events, and some deleted scenes. So some cool special features if you don't mind not having the English subtitles there, but there will be English subtitles on the feature. So let me know what you guys think about the upcoming Black Money Blu-ray. Are you going to pick it up? Do you like the design? I'm loving the design, but for me, I do not have really the extra funds to go about to pick this one up, and it is available on Netflix in Korea. So maybe you want to check with your streaming providers, see if you can get it that way. If you love the movie, definitely go with this one. And let me know if you are lucky enough to get one of those signed cards. And you can tell which signature you got based on which card it arrived on. There are 2 Jo Jin-woong cards. One of those is the director's signature. Alright, so I hope this video was helpful for those considering to pick up Black Money Blu-ray. I'm Tyler at The Movie Beat. Until next time, keep watching movies.